Hi everyone. To those who've joined in, we'll be beginning very shortly at around 3 p.m. So in the next 2 minutes. Thanks for joining us early. I think we can begin the webinar now. So over to Disha from Travel Biz Monitor.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Disha from Travel Biz Monitor, and I will be your moderator today. On behalf of Brand USA, I would like to thank all of you for joining part one of the Journey Through the USA webinar series, where we will take you on a virtual tour to explore Chicago, Houston, and Seattle. Also, as an added bonus, stay tuned to participate in our webinar quiz for a chance to win 5 Brand USA goodie bags at the end of the webinar. Brand USA is the official destination marketing organization for the United States and is headquartered in Washington, D.C. Brand USA's mission is to increase incremental international visitation, spend, and market share to fuel the nation's economy and enhance the image of the USA worldwide. Our presenter for today, Ms. Bhavika Jariwala, is a seasoned travel professional and is the travel trade director for Brand USA in India. With an impressive tenure of 6 years at Brand USA, she holds a vital role in overseeing and spearheading all travel trade marketing programs in India. Before I hand over the session to Bhavika, I would like you all to pay attention to the basic housekeeping notes for best experience of today's session. Please note all the attendees are on mute mode and the webcam is turned off by default. If by any technical glitch your webcam is turned on, please turn off the same immediately and log out of the system and restart your browser. Those of you who are attending this webinar using their mobile phones, please use the same in landscape mode for a better viewing experience. If you experience any issues like mixing of audio or lag, please check your internet connection and refresh the browser. Most problems get resolved by simply refreshing your page or browser. If the issue still persists, try logging out of the system and restarting your browser. If you are experiencing low internet speed when any video is being played, you might get a pop up saying click for audio. Click on that. Now, there's a short brief about polls and handouts. Do note, we will be conducting multiple choice question polls during the session, and it would be great if you could respond to them. Each poll question will open as a pop up, and you will have 15 seconds to select and submit the answer to each of the questions. In addition to this, please also pay attention to the handouts section next to the Q&A tab where you can find the various links for official websites of our partners that are presenting today along with the US Embassy website. Also, if you have any queries during the presentation, please type them in the Q&A tab which has opened on the top right corner of the screen inside the webinar's control panel. This control panel can be minimized or maximized. With regards to the quiz questions, you'll have to enter your responses in the Q&A tab only, and you will have 15 seconds to key in your responses to every question, after which we will move on to the next question in the quiz. At the end of each quiz question, we will be announcing the winners live. Once the quiz is over, we will commence the Q&A session to answer all your queries. That's it for now from me. Over to you, Bhavika.
Thank you so much, Disha, Ajay, Sheldon, and the team at Travel Biz Monitor for organizing the logistics for today's webinar. A very good afternoon to all our attendees joining us live today, and a warm welcome to Brand USA's inaugural webinar of 2023. We are thrilled to have you here as we embark on an exciting journey through the USA Knowledge Series, which is designed to showcase the latest on ground updates and the newest offerings from our destination partners. In today's webinar, we will focus on the vibrant cities of the USA, which are great vacation spots for first time as well as repeat travelers. So just to reiterate, Brand USA is the official tourism for the United States, official tourism board for the United States. So we represent all the 50 states as well as the territories. Here is the agenda for today's webinar. We will begin with an update from Brand USA, followed by our partner destinations, which are Seattle, Chicago, and Houston. As Disha mentioned, we have an exciting quiz at the end of the webinar where you stand a chance to win a loaded Brand USA goodie bag. So stay tuned and stay attentive. There will be a Q&A session as well post the quiz. It is my pleasure to introduce our speakers today who have pre-recorded their presentations for us. They are experts for the destinations they represent, and they're excited to share their story here today. We have Liz Johnson, who's the Director for International Tourism at Visit Seattle, along with Matt Guillory, Global Development Manager to Chicago, and Leo Yao, who's the APAC Director at Visit Houston. A big thank you on behalf of Brand USA to all of you for your support. As we transition into our webinar, I'm thrilled to kick off with an exciting exploration of Seattle, Chicago, and Houston. Drawing from my personal experiences of having had the privilege to visit these remarkable cities, I would like to share some captivating insights and commonalities that bind them together. All these three cities have a beautiful waterfront, which means they all have gorgeous beaches. These cities are major economic hubs in their respective regions, and each city has its own unique gastronomic offering. Seattle is known for its technology industry, while companies like Amazon and Microsoft are headquartered there. Moreover, Seattle has a very vibrant coffee culture, and it is also the birthplace of the renowned global coffee giant, Starbucks. This is also where the first ever Starbucks store with the original branding from the 70s can be visited in the Pike Place Market. Chicago is a major center for finance, commerce, and transportation, with United Airlines headquartered at the Willis Towers. It's also known for its iconic skyline and architecture. Coming to the gastronomy, Chicago is popular for its world-famous deep dish pizza, which you can also savor in vegetarian options. Houston is a prominent city for the energy industry and is also home to major oil and gas companies that drive its economy. Its connection to the NASA Johnson Space Center, where the iconic Mission Control Center resides, makes Houston a hub for space exploration enthusiasts. When it comes to culinary delights, Houston is well known for its Tex-Mex cuisine, that's Texan Mexican cuisine, along with barbecue options. Additionally, as you may all already know, there are plenty of Indian food restaurants across all of the USA and these three cities, as they have a large Indian population that resides there. So Indian food is never an issue for travelers from our country. Moving on to the geographic overview of the USA so that you get a sense of where these cities are located on the map. To the top left, you will see the orange-colored state of Washington, with Seattle marked with the yellow heart, which faces the Pacific Ocean, which is the largest and deepest ocean in the world. Chicago is located in the Midwest, marked in yellow, and faces Lake Michigan, which is a part of the Great Lakes, and the fifth largest freshwater lake in the world. Houston, as you see, is located in the southeast region in the state of Texas, marked in blue, at the bottom center of the map, and it faces the Gulf of Mexico. All these cities are very well connected from India through various airlines like Turkish Airlines, Emirates, Qatar Airways, British Airways, and of course Air India, United, American Airlines. I also wanted to share some interesting insights into consumer trends among Indian travelers when it comes to international travel. Here are the top 5 motivators for Indian travelers when venturing abroad. And all these experiences are available in abundance in the United States, which makes the USA one of the most aspirational destinations for Indian travelers. Indian travelers are drawn to destinations that offer breathtaking natural landscapes. So, from the mountains, forests, waterfalls, pristine lakes, we have it all in the United States. Beaches also hold a very special place in the heart of Indian travelers as it allows them to unwind and relax. Exploring iconic landmarks, historical sites, and architectural wonders also ranks very high on the list of the Indian traveler. They also value experiences that provide entertainment and leisure. So, theme parks, amusement centers, iconic attractions, and vibrant nightlife contribute to this, which are available in abundance in the USA. Cultural immersion is also very important to the Indian traveler as they seek authentic experiences. I'm really happy to share that the Indian arrival figures to the United States have been phenomenal. Our travel recovery has been really great from the India market, and we had 1.2 million visitors or 12 and a half lakh visitors between January to December of 2022, making India the sixth largest international market for the USA. As we progress in 2023, the numbers continue to soar with 815,000 Indian arrivals between January to June of 2023, making India the fourth largest international market. And we are all set to surpass our 2019 figures by the end of 2023. More than 60% of these visitors have traveled for leisure. And this could not have been possible without all your hard work. So, thank you for all your support in promoting the United States as one of the leading premium travel destinations for Indian travelers. India is a big priority market for the USA. So far, 700,000 visas have been processed in this calendar year, and 2 new consulates are scheduled to open in Bangalore and Ahmedabad, which will help tremendously to reduce the visa timelines. And with that, we're now going to do a destination preview to show you the endless possibilities that the USA has to offer through this video. So I hope you enjoyed the glimpse of that video. It's from our latest campaign, which is called This Is Where It's At. Moving on, I'd like to introduce you to some of the travel trade tools. Here's a quick recap of our travel trade website, which is a one-stop shop for all the information you need to promote USA holidays. The latest addition to our website is the What's New in the USA in 2023 tab, which provides updates on the new hotel openings, new flights, new attractions, new exhibits, etc. We also have 32 ready to use day wise itineraries called Road Trips USA, along with a robust media library with free HD quality images and destination videos. A DMC directory is also available along with the Trip Planner, which is a free real time itinerary curating software. And also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Our official handle is at Visit the USA. Feel free to reshare travel ideas and content from Brand USA's Instagram page to inspire your followers. Here's a look at the itineraries that we have curated, which are called Road Trips USA. These are multi state road trip itineraries. There are 32 of them across diverse travel themes, right from the outdoors to shopping, wine trails to history, music to city breaks. These road trips are inspirational and bookable through the DMCs listed on our website. And we're also excited to share that these itineraries are available in PDF format, free for download on our trade website, making it more accessible for you to incorporate into your own website. And as many of you may already know, we have the first ever destination OTT platform owned by any tourism board. The Go USA TV is Brand USA powered premier travel entertainment network, as well as an OTT platform where you can watch stories about the USA's must see places, foodie hotspots, amazing road trips, and the great outdoors. It's currently available on the Amazon Fire TV, Samsung TV Plus, as well as Apple TV. And you can also download this free app on the iOS as well as the Android phones. Here's a glimpse of the trip planner, which is the itinerary curating software. So this is an amazing tool to use for anyone who caters to FIT travel for the USA. As you see, there's a search box for right on top of the itinerary planner where you can key in the state, the city, or the region along with the start and the end date. You can select the number of guests, and you can go with a theme which is either popular, balanced, hidden gems, fast paced, medium, slow, and easy, depending on the age of your clients. And you have activity preferences such as historic sites, relaxing, outdoors, culture, etc., which you can tick in. And based on your inputs, it will give you a day wise as well as a time wise itinerary with a map that can be used as your first response to your client. So I really recommend that you try out the trip planner. We will be sending the link to this in our follow up email tomorrow. Moving on to our next biggest tool, which is the USA Discovery Program. It's Brand USA's free e-learning program with 65 different modules. We really encourage you to register if you haven't yet and become a USA expert. We run contests every week and give away prizes as incentives for you to learn. This month, we have the Mall of America incentive where you stand a chance to win $100 gift cards if you complete the Mall of America badge. So, like I said, please do register on www.usadiscoveryprogram.in and you can participate in this contest, which ends on the 31st of July. As we transition to the Seattle presentation, we have curated a special poll to gather your valuable input and thoughts. Right now, you will see 4 poll questions on the screen, one by one. And we really appreciate your inputs as you answer them. So this is just information for us to collect about your business and about the market trends. So may we have the poll questions, please? Our first question is, who makes up your customer segment that travels to the USA? So your options are leisure travelers, bleisure, that's a mix of business and leisure, business and corporate travelers, or VFR. So please submit your answers right now as we move to our next question. I assume you would have answered by now. So may we have the next question, please? We just have 4 questions, so there's just 3 more left. So which parts of the USA are you currently promoting? Your options are East Coast, West Coast, offbeat self-drive destinations, or others. You can select your option and click on submit to log in your answers. And our next question is, may we have the next question, please? What USA products are your customers asking you for? Your options are USA outdoors and national parks, or is it FIT self-drive holidays? Is it SIC coach tours, or is it very experiential where you were looking at wine trails, ski vacations, wellness, and luxury? So please log in your answers and click on submit. And we'll now move on to a final question of the poll before we get into the Seattle presentation. Next question, please. How many travelers did your business service to the USA in 2022? If it's 0 to 30 packs, you choose that option. Is it 30 to 60 packs? Is it more than 100 packs or none? We really appreciate you taking the time to do this, as this just helps us understand your business better. And I think that would have been, we can now close the poll and move on to the Seattle presentation. So thanks again for taking the time to do the poll. And we now move on to our first presenter today. So over to Liz Johnson from Visit Seattle.
Hello, my name is Liz Johnson, and I'm the Director of International Tourism at Visit Seattle. Thank you for allowing me to come here today and share a little bit of my home with you. Seattle is a medium-sized city. It's about 800,000 people in the city proper, or about 4 million in the larger King County metro area. Seattle is the gateway to Washington State and the Pacific Northwest, and acts as a hub for a lot of the smaller communities in this area. For example, if you're coming here for a longer trip, Seattle would be where you would pick up your rental motorhome or your car hire and continue your trip from there. Around the same time, we'll be opening our new international arrivals facility at the airport. This is going to allow our international guests to arrive and transit through customs quicker, more seamlessly, and easily than ever before. The elevated sky bridge that you can see on the right-hand side of the image connects the arrival gates to the customs hall and is built at such a height that even the largest planes can pass underneath. Once you arrive in Seattle, you'll pass through customs and into the large, airy baggage claim. There's artwork from local artists here that you can admire while you wait for your bags. And once you've reclaimed your bags, it's easy to pick up your car hire, take a taxi, or even the Link light rail into downtown Seattle. Now, Seattle is known as the Emerald City, and it's so called because of the greenery of our parks, the forests in the surrounding area, and the deep blue-green waters of Puget Sound, which border the city just to the west. Seattle offers a variety of accommodations, everything from budget-friendly hotels to boutique properties to some of the more luxury brands that exist in any world-class city. Our skyline is iconic, with skyscrapers built on 7 hills and Mount Rainier in the background. Probably the most well-known landmark on our skyline is the Space Needle. This was built in 1962 for the World's Fair and stands at 185 meters. Guests can take an elevator from the ground floor up all the way to the top and one of 2 viewing decks. The top viewing deck offers 360-degree views of the surrounding skyline, and the deck right below that is known as the Loop and features a glass floor looking straight down 150 meters. Another well-known attraction in Seattle is the Pike Place Public Market. This was opened in 1907 and has been in operation continuously since that time, making it one of the oldest in the United States. Guests can walk under the covered arcades or in the outdoor stalls, meet the producers, and take in all the sights and smells of the market. During lunch, I like to wander down here, and depending on what I'm feeling that day, I'll pick up some fresh pasta or maybe some authentic Greek yogurt or a Chinese humbao to eat as I walk through the market. And now I'd like to share with you a first-time visitor Seattle's experience in the Pike Place Market.
The smells were just intoxicating. Like at some point I'm walking and I smell coffee and like cherries and cigars, all this with a hint of freshly baked croissants. You know what I mean? Like it's really intense, but I liked it a lot. The streets are cobbled streets. Like in the olden times, I would imagine that's how it is when you got off the boat. And then there's just this market from people all over the world trading. You get the smell of a lot of different things being meshed together and you're sort of a part of it. From spices to food, everything you can really think of is available to me right now, fresh and organic and local. Yeah, it's awesome.
just down the hill from Pike Place Market, you'll find the Seattle waterfront. The largest structure on the waterfront is the Seattle Great Wheel. This gives visitors a unique way to check out the Seattle skyline, Puget Sound, and the Olympic Mountain Range to the west. The wheel is lit up in various colors throughout the year, depending on what holiday or what events are happening in the city, and it's a great attraction to visit both day and night. The rest of the waterfront has undergone some really cool expansions lately. They've taken old roadways and turned them into green spaces, connecting Pike Place Market to the waterfront. There's a variety of shopping and dining outlets. I personally like to grab a bowl of clam chowder at Ivar's, and it's also home to the Seattle Aquarium, which features a variety of Pacific Northwest marine life, like harbor seals, sea otters, and even a great Pacific octopus. To the north of the waterfront in downtown, you'll find the Seattle Center. This is the home of the Space Needle, as I mentioned earlier, but it's also the home to Chihuly Garden in Glass. This museum celebrates the works of Dale Chihuly, a world-renowned glass artist who hails from the Seattle area. And there's a variety of his pieces of work, whimsical, colorful, and large, in both indoor and outdoor galleries, including the Glass House, which you can see in this image, that features live music from local artists several nights a week during the summer. And you can't talk about music in Seattle without mentioning the Museum of Pop Culture, or MoPop. This was opened by the late Paul Allen of Microsoft fame, and it's a homage to American rock music and the genres of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror. There's permanent exhibits here on Seattle native Jimi Hendrix, on Nirvana, and even Pearl Jam. The Seattle Center is a great place to visit and features all these attractions. And the newest member is the Climate Pledge Arena. This is opening this month, and we're incredibly excited. It's a unique arena designed to be the first carbon neutral facility of its kind in the world. It'll play host to concerts like Coldplay, who's going to be opening the arena on the 22nd of October, and sports like the Seattle Kraken, the newest team in the National Hockey League. I know I've taken you on a whirlwind trip through Seattle, and there's so much more to talk about with food and neighborhoods and various things to do and see, but now I want to introduce you to Washington State. This is the Evergreen State, much like my city is the Emerald City. The Evergreen State is so called because of the greenery and the lushness of this area. And now I'd like to share with you a real visitor's first time experience on the Washington State Ferry as she crosses Puget Sound.
It just feels like pure adventure with the wind on your face and the sun in your hair. It's like, I know that's so cliche, but it's just really, really nice. The horn blares, and then when you push away, you just feel a little bit of a cold, chilly nip at the tip of your nose. See that trail of foam kind of coming out from the ship? They have this like space up on the top deck. Like you can enjoy the beautiful views as you kind of cruise on over to Bainbridge, and it's just all nature. It's a city that has access to all these islands. It's like a perfect base to get to all these amazing places. It's one of the really unique aspects so far that I've discovered about Seattle. Just feel.
Washington State is located in the upper left corner of the United States, just below the Canadian border, British Columbia, and Vancouver. In fact, it's about 2 hours from Seattle to Vancouver. The green that you see on the map is the Cascade Mountain Range and really divides the state into two distinct areas. On the left-hand side, it's lush and coastal, and on the right-hand side, it's more arid and agricultural focused. Washington State is home to 3 national parks, the first of which is Mount Rainier National Park. I mentioned Mount Rainier earlier, as you can see it from the Seattle skyline. However, the national park is well worth a day trip from Seattle. There's amazing hikes and panoramic vistas, and if you'd like to stay a little bit longer and explore the park, there's a variety of accommodations from cabins up to the more grand lodges. In the north, we have the North Cascade National Park. This is actually one of the least visited national parks in the United States. And anybody who misses this is missing beautiful blue-green views of Diablo Lake. They're missing the sharp points of Mount Baker and all of the cute towns in this community. The area in here, and the road through this area is called the Cascade Loop, and it passes through the western town of Winthrop, through Lake Chelan with its cider and wine regions, and the Cupivarian town of Leavenworth. To the western coast of the state, across Puget Sound from Seattle, we have the Olympic Peninsula. This is home to the Olympic National Park. And in fact, the whole area is very picturesque. There's cute little tiny coastal towns. You have the grandeur of the Olympic Range, most of which is visible from Hurricane Ridge. And then out on the Pacific coast, you have the wide windswept beaches. This is also the home to the Hoh rainforest, where Sitka spruce and western hemlock trees create a green silent canopy that's absolutely beautiful to hike through. Up in the north, we have the San Juan Islands. This is a sparsely populated chain of islands that's accessible from Seattle by the Washington State Ferry, or even a float plane from downtown Seattle. This area has cute accommodations, great dining, lavender fields, and the opportunity to see some of Puget Sound's marine wildlife, like orcas, as you can see in the photo below. To the east, we have the more arid part of the state, and this is where we produce apples and onions and hops that we turn into beer, and amazing vineyards that is producing some really great wine. In fact, Walla Walla in the southeast corner of the state was recently named America's best wine region. If you can't make it out that far, I recommend a visit to Woodinville, a small community about 30 miles from Seattle that offers over 90 tasting rooms. Now, I know I've given you a lot of information, and I hope that this has inspired you to learn more about Seattle. As you're planning your trip here, I encourage you to go to our webpage, visitseattle.org, where you can learn more about the neighborhoods, the places to stay, the things you can do, the things you can taste, and a whole slew of other experiences in Seattle, King County, and the surrounding region. Thank you for your time, and we cannot wait to welcome you here.
Thank you, Liz, for the insightful presentation on Seattle. Makes me want to go back. So it's now time to introduce our next speaker for today, Matt, who hails from Chicago. We kindly ask for your understanding, as there is a small technical issue with Matt's video feed, resulting in his face being temporarily cut at some parts of the presentation. Nonetheless, we are confident that his insights will shine through brightly. So let's extend a warm welcome to Matt from Choose Chicago.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much to Bhavika and the entire Brand USA India team for letting us take a little bit of time to share what makes Chicago such a great, special city to visit and why it has been named one of the best big cities in the US by Condé Nast readers for the 6th time in a row this year. We have a lot of great things going on in Chicago, and I'm happy to share some highlights with you. I was very happy to also join the Brand USA sales mission to India this year. I plan on coming back year after year. I had a wonderful time, and I was so pleased to meet so many of you and hope to meet so many more of you when I'm there in person again coming up. So let's talk a little bit about Chicago and why we think it's such a special place. We have been named the best big city in the US for 6 years in a row. This is by the readers of Condé Nast Traveler. We just received the 22 award last year. We're hoping to go for a solid number 7. We are the first city in the US to do this 6 years in a row, and actually more than 3 times total. Here's a little bit of a map that kind of shows the downtown core area. So you'll notice there is a loop area with a rectangle, and that is really our elevated train system, and it completely circles the central business district. If you'll notice out to the side, those are a lot of our major attractions. So anything from the Chicago Cultural Center, the Art Institute of Chicago, Buckingham Fountain and Museum Campus, which we'll talk a little bit about later, are all very centrally located downtown, which means that Chicago is a very walkable city. But in addition to that, if you actually look at those train lines, they lead out all over the city, which makes our public transportation in Chicago kind of second to none, and the ability for our residents and our visitors to get around Chicago easily, and to be able to see all that the city has to offer. Chicago has 77 very unique neighborhoods. And so this is actually just a very small portion of it where a lot of the major attractions are. But given anything that you would like to do in Chicago, any kind of culture you would like to see, it's all housed in those 77 neighborhoods, and really worth a look for each time you come back to Chicago and subsequent visits as well. We like to say that the best way to see Chicago is to see it from above and then from below. Chicago is architecturally a very significant city. So seeing it from above in one of our observation decks is probably one of the best ways to get started when you're visiting Chicago. Your clients will absolutely love it. You get to see every part of the city from our 2 observation decks. The first is Sky Deck Chicago. It's housed in what's formerly known as the Sears Tower. If you ask locals, they still call it the Sears Tower. We now call it the Willis Tower is the official name, but it's on the 103rd floor. You can see 80 kilometers on a clear day, and that's 4 states that you can actually see from the observation deck itself. It's very famously known for the ledge, which you can see in the image with the person doing the handstand. Those are glass boxes that you can actually walk out onto and take as many photos as you like of yourself doing as many crazy things in those boxes, where you actually look all the way straight down from 103 stories above the ground. So it's a little terrifying, but it's a lot of fun, especially for families. There is a major renovation that happened in Skydeck over the pandemic. They renovated completely their entry level. And it's a beautiful, beautiful exhibit that really showcases not only the history of Chicago, but things that make Chicago unique, which we'll kind of talk a little bit more about in the presentation. But things like deep dish pizza and our sports and celebrities that have come from Chicago or made Chicago home. So it's a really great way to be introduced to the city of Chicago. Our other observation deck is 360 Chicago. That's formerly known as the John Hancock Observatory in the John Hancock Building. This is on the 94th floor. Their thrill ride is the tilt. And so that is on the photo on your right. It is a glass box that when you stand in it, it actually moves and tilts out over so that you're actually facing down onto the ground. So it's a lot of fun. Comes with some sound effects and some fun noises that make it a little bit more of a fun experience. They also went through a recent renovation. They have a bar now on their observation level called the Cloud Bar, which makes it a really great destination to go see the city, and then you can have a really nice cocktail while you enjoy the views of Chicago. And so moving to below, our boat cruises. Once you've seen the city from up above, looking at it from below is a really amazing way to actually see the architecture of the city up close and personal as you cruise along the Chicago River. We have 4 different companies that actually do these cruises, and they're some of the most popular cruises that we have in Chicago. They can range anywhere from 75 to 90 minutes, depending on the company doing the cruise. They are seasonal, so you'll always want to check that before you direct your clients to the boats, but they are running most of the year. They run on the Chicago River, and they also run on Lake Michigan. And a couple of those cruises, you are actually able to do meals on those. You can do a lunch or a dinner cruise as well. These cruises are often run by docents who have immense architecture experience and knowledge and are able to share everything with you about how the city was really engineered from the ashes of the Chicago fire and brought up to the city it is today. And as you cruise along, you will see brand new buildings being built very intentionally and very, very very in tune to what makes the city so special with its architectural nature. And then we move on to the more fun stuff. So the dining in Chicago, we are a Michelin star city. So we we have our own Michelin guide. We are one of only 5 US cities with one. That means we take our food very seriously. And one of our local favorites is deep dish pizza. There are several local pizza places that kind of claim to be the original of the deep dish pizza. You can actually do tours and taste all the different versions and find out which one you might like the best. Everyone has an opinion. It's usually based on the crust and the cheese. So it's a lot of fun for families to go through and try deep dish pizza the first time. A lot of people say it's not a pizza, it's a pie. We still call it a pizza here in Chicago, and it's very popular. And just a fun fact about Chicago dining is that the brownie was actually invented in Chicago at the Palmer House Hilton Hotel. You can still go in that hotel. It's one of the oldest hotels in the country that's still operating. They actually serve the brownies there. So it's kind of a fun stop off for your clients if they want to taste the original recipe for the original brownie and the original location that it was created. But again, dining is at the heart of all Chicagoans, and we do have those 77 unique and amazing neighborhoods, often with their own cultural flair. So taking a dive into those Chicago neighborhoods, as well as the downtown core of Chicago, I like to say that you can't operate a restaurant in Chicago that's not good. So it's very rare that you'll actually find food that is not great in Chicago. Definitely check out our website, choosechicago.com, to get some insider tips on some great neighborhoods to check out the dining scene, because each neighborhood is known for something a little bit different. And then another thing that is uniquely Chicago is our music scene. So a lot of people do not realize that house music was created here in Chicago, but we are most known for being the home of the blues. So you can catch a blues show any night in Chicago. Buddy Guy's Legends is one of the most famous Chicago locations where you can catch a live show for the blues, but also in Lincoln Park, there's Kingston Mines, which is also a very popular destination to see that. And we also have some really great museums that really celebrate the history of the blues in Chicago. In addition to that, we have world-renowned orchestras, great outdoor venues that host them. The Chicago Symphony is world famous, so it's definitely worth, depending on the time of year that you're coming to Chicago, to check out our music scene. Anywhere from major festivals like Lollapalooza to the Chicago Blues Festival, which is free to the public. We always have something going on here in Chicago in the music scene that's worth seeing. So with hotels, we have over 45,000 hotel rooms in downtown Chicago, and that's just downtown Chicago alone. We are building new hotels every year. Things are really looking great on that scene. A few of our newer hotels are the Nobu Hotel, which is located in the West Loop. The Citizen M Hotel and the Pendry Hotel are located in the Loop on the Mag Mile, and great locations. The Sable Hotel on Navy Pier is on one of our most popular tourist attractions, which is Navy Pier. That is a Hilton hotel. There is a newer Spring Hill Suites in Chinatown, which is a really fun and vibrant neighborhood with some amazing food that's really worth checking out. So there's a hotel there. But as mentioned earlier, we just opened, and this is in the last couple of months, the St. Regis Chicago. So this is only one of 11 St. Regis hotels in the entire United States. And it also is a 6-star hotel. It is Chicago's only 6-star hotel. It's a beautiful property. It is built by Studio Gang, which is a very famous architect in the world, but really located here in Chicago. And the St. Regis Chicago is housed in the building, which is the tallest building in the world, built by a female architect. So we're really proud of the St. Regis. It's a beautiful hotel. And like I said, we are continuing to open more and more hotels. Many of our hotels are concentrated around the downtown core area, So anything from a boutique brand to your major hotel brands, we have it all here in Chicago. So we fit any need for any kind of client needs of properties they might have, or if they need meeting space as well. And that's a very upper level view of what we have to offer in Chicago. Of course, we have many more things, and I'm always happy to answer any questions. So please, again, contact me. Again, I'm Matthew Guillory. I'm the manager of tourism and global development at Choose Chicago. My email address is here, as well as my phone number. And we are very happy to be your resource for anything that you could possibly need when planning your visit to Chicago, your clients' visits. And I'm very thankful for you taking the time to learn a little bit about Chicago today. And we really hope to see you very soon in Chicago. Thank you so much.
I hope you guys enjoyed that presentation. That was a really insightful update about Chicago, another really exciting city to visit in the United States. And keep in mind, all the three cities that are being presented today are great for first time as well as repeat travelers. We're trying to do something new, so please do promote our partner destinations. And under the handouts, you will find all our travel trade websites for Brand USA, Visit Seattle, to Chicago, as well as Visit Houston. All you need to do is click on handouts and click on the download button. And with that, we're going to move to our next presentation, which is Houston. So this is our last speaker for today. So over to Leo Yao to take us through the charming city of Houston.
You might think you know Chicago, but when you go, that's when you'll truly know. You go to know a music scene that makes your heart pound, your feet tap, and gets you right out of your seat. You go to know eating your way through 77 neighborhoods can change your point of view. You go to know the fun doesn't end at dusk. It never stops. You go to know the energy, the history, the heart and soul of Chicago. The only way to know Chicago is to go to Chicago.
My apologies for that. So that was the video from True Chicago. And we're now moving on to the presentation from Visit Houston.
Houston. Houston is the fourth largest city in the United States, and we are the most culturally diverse city in the country. Space Center Houston is located in NASA in Houston. Houston is located in the middle south of the United States, and we're one of the largest connectivity hubs in the U.S., and we have two major airports to serve the international travelers. George Bush Intercontinental Airport, codenamed IAH, is the largest international airport in Houston. From New Delhi to Houston, there's only one stop. William P. Hobby Airport, codenamed HOU, only 11 kilometers from downtown Houston. It serves domestic flights and the flights to Mexico. By this map, you can see, based on our location, you can fly from Houston to any of the United States cities within 4 hours flight time. Our metro systems links from downtown to Theater District, Convention District, Museum District, Texas Medical Center, NRG Stadium, Asian Town, airports, even Space Center Houston, and all the living communities. Houston is the energy capital of the world. There are more than 3,500 energy companies in Houston, home to 28 Fortune 500 energy companies, and leader in green energy. Texas Medical Center is the world's largest medical complex. We have more than 100,000 people work here every day, and we receive more than 10 million patients globally every year. Now, let's look into Houston attractions. Space Center Houston was built in 1992 by the Walt Disney Company as the official visitor center to NASA. It is located about 45 minutes south of downtown. With more than 400 space artifacts to explore and experience, I would suggest you to plan to spend at least 4 hours at the Space Center Houston if you're in a tight schedule. Museum District houses 19 world-class institutions, including the Menil Collection, Museum of Fine Arts Houston, the Houston Museum of Nature Science, and so many more. The Houston Zoo is a 55-acre zoological park located within Herman Park in Houston, and it is the second most visited zoo in the United States. In the theater district, you can find all kinds of a performance you like, included Houston Symphony, Houston Ballet, Broadway show, opera, and all type of performing arts. Houston also hosts numerous live music performances at venues, including White Oak Music, 713, House of Blues, Toyota Center, and more. Landry's hospitality and entertainment includes Houston Downtown Aquariums, Galveston Pleasure Pier, and Kima Bulwark, and all the Landry's branded restaurants in Houston. If you selfie and share your experience on social media, then you don't want to miss the Art Car Museum, Beer Can House, the Orange Show, and National Museum of Funeral History in Houston. Houston is green. Houston's parkland acreage ranked at the top of the nation, and Houston houses more than 165 golf courses. Houston's 5 professional sports teams have long winning traditions and loyal fans. They are Houston Astros, Houston Texans, Houston Rockets, and the Houston Dynamos. Galveston, Texas is just 50 miles away from Houston. It's a destination full of arts, historic architectures, chic boutiques, ghost legends, and more. Galveston is the 4th busiest home port in the country, with cruises departing throughout the year. Shopping is big in Houston. The Galleria Mall is the most popular shopping center in Houston, and also people enjoy outlet malls like Houston Premium Outlets and the Katy Mills Mall. Since 2001, Texas tax-free shopping offered international visitors sales tax refund on purchase made in Texas. Tax-free shopping offers instant cash refunds with no processing limited. For details, please visit the Texas Tax-Free Shopping website. With 10,000 restaurants representing cuisines from more than 70 countries and the American regions, Houston's restaurant scene is as diverse as its more than 6 million residents. Talk about Houston nightlife. Here, you can find the top 11 Houston nightclubs list. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is the largest livestock exhibition and rodeo in the world. It includes one of the richest regular season professional rodeo events. Houston is busy. We have events from spring all the way to winter. You can plan your visit by the list of annual events. The George R. Brown Convention Center covers 1.8 million square feet, with two attached hotels totaling 2,200 rooms. The Houston area is the home to approximately 934 hotels and 92,000 rooms. Downtown Houston is the home to 27 hotels with more than 82,000 rooms. Now, let us take you to run around Houston in 2 minutes. If you ask me for the tour to plan the Houston experience, I would suggest you check out the Houston Marketplace website. At here, you can find Visit Houston official website and all the social media links. I thank you for being with us today. I'm Leo Yao, serving the Asia Pacific market. Please feel free to email me if there's anything we could work with you. And we're looking forward to meeting you in Houston. Thank you.
Thank you. A big thank you to Leo for his valuable insights into Houston. So, as we conclude our destination presentations, it's time to add an element of excitement with our fun quiz. By participating in this quiz, you have an incredible opportunity to win one of the 5 fantastic goodie bags that are put together by us. So, without further ado, let's hand over to Disha, who will be your quiz master for this quiz. Good luck to everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to enhance your participation and engagement, we will be conducting our exciting quiz segment with 5 questions, which have 5 Brand USA goodie bags up for grabs. Now, here's the twist. You will enter your responses in the Q&A tab only, and you will have just 15 seconds to answer each quiz question. At the end of each question, we will announce the winner and then move on to the next question. What is the name of Brand USA's e-learning program for the travel trade?
So all you need to do is, guys, answer in the Q&A tab with the name of Brand USA's e-learning program for the travel trade. What is it called? We did share an update on this. All right, and I think we have a winner already. So Mriganka Shekhar has answered it right. It is called the USA Discovery Programs. So congratulations on winning the first question. Moving on to our next question, please.
Which coffee giant was founded in Seattle in 1971?
So we did discuss this. It's a very popular coffee chain, and we have multiple stores of this coffee giant now in India too, under the Tata banner. So let's keep the answers coming in the Q&A chat box. And I think we have a winner already. So Alok Dalmia's answered it correct. So congratulations. The answer is Starbucks. It was founded in Seattle in 1971. And the first ever original store still stands in the Pike Place Market with its original branding. Moving on to our next question.
What style of pizza is Chicago renowned for across the world?
So, guys, you did hear from Matt during his presentation. This style of pizza is world renowned, and I think it's a must do experience for all your clients when they visit Chicago. And it's also available in vegetarian options too. So, let's scroll through to see who's the first one to okay, a lot of you have got this right. I'm just going to scroll through to see the first person who answered this, who is the winner of this round, is Vinay Athail. Congratulations on winning question number 3. Moving on to our next question, please.
Houston is known for its association with space exploration. Which US space agency has its headquarters in Houston?
This one's really easy. I think a lot of us aspire to go here for their space programs. They have space programs for adults as well as children where they can live the life of an astronaut for a week. So let's check the chat box, and the winner of this question is, a lot of you have got this correct too. So great job, guys. Gayatri Hingorani, many congratulations to you. It is NASA. They are headquartered here. So moving on to our last question for today. So be attentive, guys. This one's extremely easy. It pertains to Brand USA. And we have the final round for our quiz now.
What is the name of Brand USA's travel entertainment network and OTT platform?
So this was the final slide that I presented. This is available on the iOS as well as the Android phone, along with other OTT platforms. And a lot of you have been paying attention. That's very, very cool for me to see today. So I think we have our winner for today, scrolling through. And the first person to get this right is Sadesh Sood. So congratulations on winning the final quiz question.
Congratulations to all the 5 winners. And now we move on to the Q&A section where you guys can enter your queries and Bhavika will take them one at a time.
Thanks so much, Disha. You were an excellent quiz master. So just before we get into the Q&A, this webinar series is a 3-part webinar series, which is called Journey Through the USA. So part 1 today was all about vibrant US cities. We have part two coming up, which is exploring the great outdoors of the USA, featuring Alaska, Colorado, Oregon, and Wyoming. That's taking place next week at the same time. And the final leg of this series is scheduled to be held on the 9th of August from 3 to 4 p.m. This webinar will focus on luxury and wellness travel to the USA and features really great destinations like Arizona, Rhode Island, and Savannah, which is located in the state of Georgia. So if there are any questions, please type them out in the chat box and we'll be happy to take them. So far, there are no questions, which means that we've really done well today in answering all your queries. So we'll give it a couple more minutes before we end the webinar today. My email address is up on the screen. So if you need any information, feel free to reach out to me at bjaliwala@thebrandusa.in. And I think since we have no questions, a big thank you to all of you for spending your afternoon with us. We really appreciate it today. And I hope you got some great new fresh insights into Seattle, Chicago, and Houston. Thank you for your time today and see you soon next week.
Thank you, Bhavika, and thank you, the entire team from Chicago, Houston, and Seattle, for taking out time from the busy schedule and educating the travel trade about what their respective destination cities and the USA have to offer for all our guests. We will follow up with you tomorrow over email with the official website links of Brand USA and its partners. Just a quick update. We have the part 3 webinar from Brand USA coming up on 9th of August. It will focus on Arizona, Rhode Island, and Savannah. It will be conducted between 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and you guys can register directly from here.
Thanks, Disha, and thanks everyone once again. Have a pleasant evening and see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.